Welcome back to Dreamin', Don't Give It Up Luffy, Dreamin', Don't Give It Up Zoro. Toby can't be here today. Unfortunately, the FTC has declared him as directed at children, so he's no longer allowed on the show because we want to monetize it and not go to prison. Today's story was requested by one of our wonderful, beautiful patrons called Cyanide. So it's like cyanide, basically.
Cyanide.
It's called... What's this one called?
Scroll up slightly.
Sonic X and the Dragon's Trap.
It's called Sonic X Episode 80, Revenge of the Jungle Trap.
Okay, so
I was about
the word trap's involved, where I think it's probably not the normal kind of trap.
As you may know, the one and only Sonic anime, Sonic X...
Okay, stop you right there. There was actually a Sonic anime movie, just be a bit nitpicky. But the only one...
Yeah, it's strange that you would open it that way when there is sort of provably another Sonic that was fairly popular, and I know a lot of people that have seen it.
Including me.
Sonic X was my third favourite show. Why would I know that? First being SpongeBob, second being The Amazing World of Gumball, and fourth being Adventure Time. But now these days...
So Sonic X is above Adventure Time.
Apparently. 4Kids barely announces new episodes of the show. Just some Yu-Gi-Oh! Spelled entirely incorrectly. Tokyo Mew, Mew Mew, Mew.
Tokyo Mew Mew or Mew Mew Power.
Thank you for breaking that down for me. Power episodes and other crap I can think of. But
no, Sonic X, the cream of the crop of 4Kids work.
There was an episode of Sonic X that I hated named Girls Jungle Trap.
There ain't no girl in the jungle.
It's like I never really saw Sonic X, but now I'm imagining that it's like Sonic Underground and they have musical numbers in the episode, just like there ain't no girl in the jungle.
You gotta dig. We can start a band. Start that rap career back up.
Which was episode 58. I hated that episode a lot because Amy, Cream, and Cosmo.
Wait, I thought Cosmo was
from Fairly Odd Parents. Yeah,
it's like I said. Okay,
Cosmo and Sonic the Hedgehog in the same room. What is this? A crossover episode?
Right. So I only watched a few episodes of Sonic X, but in the later seasons they go into space and there's this green thing that's an alien who wants to fuck Tails or something.
So it's basically the Amazing Gazoo.
Yes, it's like just imagine that. All right, so Amazing Gazoo wants to fuck Tails. Or no, Tails wants to fuck the Amazing Gazoo.
Right.
Because he's actually bigger than this one thing, so...
that's where we are with Sonic. It's like, oh, how do we make Sonic more appealing to kids? Let's just put an alien in it. Didn't we try this, like, years ago with the Flintstones?
Yeah. Whoa, that was definitely a great thing that happened, wasn't it?
Amy, Cream, and Cosmo are kidnapped in a fucking jungle. And Sonic, Tails, Chris...
Shan!
I didn't even make that connection. I just thought Chris, really? But like, no, it's like Sonic, Tails, and Chris.
Right, so I'm the only one who's seen this because I have to explain it to Jacob. Chris is like the crappy human character. Do you remember like in Bucky O'Hare?
Yeah.
It's like the human character who you always hated. They got that. Like, Sonic like crashes at his house or something like that.
Didn't the human character have like a giant suit of armour that was kind of like a gorilla? In Bucky O'Hare?
No, there was just a giant gorilla.
Right.
He was just dressed like one because he's vaguely human-shaped. Well, ape-shaped.
I'm confused.
What, Bucky O'Hare or Sonic?
Both.
No, I'm talking about Bucky O'Hare, Joe, but this...
Yeah, no, I don't remember him having he was just useless because, I have a magic door that takes me to... Why are we talking about this? We can talk about Bucky O'Hare later.
So Sonic, Tails, Chris, and other boy characters.
Sonic, Tails... Chris and other boy characters I could think of are supposed to save them, and that was obviously one of the worst ideas 4Kids ever came up with. Well, I mean, I don't feel like 4Kids weren't writing the plot as far as I understand. Like, they were dubbing an existing Japanese program.
That said, 4Kids have, like, unless the plot was completely different and then they dubbed over it, because they've done that before. I've told you about there's a was it an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds where they give the main character amnesia for no reason?
No, you haven't.
There's just one episode that goes, oh, hey, I've got amnesia, and no, I don't at the end of the episode. No reason.
Well, I mean, what harm could it do? Like, you're not going to make Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds a lot worse, are you?
Well, no, it could be like the next one. Or the one after that.
What was it, Zexal?
Zexal.
Thought that was a nightmare. Honestly, that was I felt upset when I saw that. I watched the first episode. That was enough for me.
Couldn't stop throwing up blood.
Yeah.
Anyway, we haven't even got that paragraph. How much of the story's left?
It ruined Son Amy too.
Oh no, my official ship.
See, I actually read it as tsunami, and I'm like,
Is that a new character?
I actually thought it was like, did they misspell the word tsunami?
Son Amy, I'm quite certain, is the ship of Sonic and Amy. I mean, it's
I hate
fairly obvious,
people that
right?
do that with the names.
Episode 52 and 65, in my opinion, were so much better.
I'm so glad we know what those are.
Yes.
I agree with you, yeah. 52, it's so good.
I'm gonna guess from context they are to do with
I'm not even moving it. There we go.
Butt sex.
I'm gonna guess that's to do with Son Amy. At school, one of my friends is now a plural. Were talking about the future of Sonic X, and I didn't really bother joining that chat.
Sounds like a chat room.
So,
And that's what I thought. It was like, I'm not going to.
so what you meant to say was that some of your friends were talking about the future of Sonic X. Okay, and I really didn't bother joining that chat because they were just spamming about a sequel to Girls' Jungle Trap.
Wait. Right. I'm a bit confused. Like, the way that he's sort of writing this is like, obviously, it's like he's on the computer.
I
but
think it's
he's not.
because
But
this-
then because they were just spamming.
I think the reason for that is because this author has not had any social interactions with other people, so he's just using what he knows, which is like a Discord server.
Right. Okay.
Join the Discord, guys. Link in the description.
It's really fun. I'm on it all the time.
I just watched them talk about that shit until I heard the word episode 80 come up to my head. So I joined that chat even though I didn't bother to.
Like, are you having a chat in the playground, or are you like sitting in a corner on your phone?
I asked them about episode 80, but my girlfriend said that 4Kids has not even reached that episode yet. Look, author, when you're writing a character, you can have him have a girlfriend, or you can have him be a huge Sonic X fan.
You can't have both.
No.
My girlfriend said that 4Kids has not even reached that episode yet. Because they didn't do episode 79 yet. At 3 p.m, I was finally able to go home. Your school lets out really early. But during when I walked home from school... Oh, he goes to a special school, okay. I found an abandoned tape. And the tape...
Of course you did.
Just found it. It doesn't even say where, just on the way home from school.
So it was on the floor.
It could have been anywhere on his walk home. We don't know what kind of neighbourhood he's walking through. Is it in an alleyway? Is it in a park?
It's outside a videotape shop.
Yeah, like...
Also,
what is the reason for it being there? Just Gemma, just like just like no one, not a goddamn person. Gemma inhales tea. It's like
I've got a cold. It's not Lucasade though.
consumes no, because you're not belly laughing on the floor. Tape. And the tape said Sonic X80 on it.
Of course it did.
Bingo. I have found the lost episode. The one you were talking about moments ago.
Is it even a lost episode? It's not a lost episode, it just hasn't been aired yet.
Pretty much I haven't found any lost tapes in my life, or why would you? So this was a really big find.
Wait, what year was Sonic out again? Was tapes really that common?
2003.
Yeah, people were still using
Yeah.
tapes quite a lot back then. I mean, I've got movies from like 2004 and 5 on VHS. Like.
Yeah, they stopped making them in about 2005.
But yeah, to answer your question, Matt, like, yeah, people, in the 2000s, people were still using tapes. When I went home, I realised that Mum and Dad hate having unknown tapes in the house.
Why?
Because it could be super porn.
Because it was like, could it be their porn tapes or?
I think they hate having unknown tapes. I get the feeling this is not going to be explained.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Like, in a real story, that would be a character trait that you would explain later. But in a real story, you wouldn't just find a tape on your walk home.
No.
That was the thing you were talking about.
What the stroke of luck?
So I hid in it
Great sentence.
behind my books in a bookshelf. No, you hid it. You didn't hidden it. That's not. On a Friday night, Mum and Dad were out to a meeting, and I had to look after my brother Anthony. At 1 a.m, I started thinking about the tape, so I got the tape and played it on my TV. I was hoping it would absolutely not be any Girls Jungle Trap shit ruining my TV screen. I wonder what will come up, I thought to myself. I was hoping the volume to be low. Just to, presumably you've got either a remote or buttons on your television. Like, you can just turn it down preemptively.
I also like the whole thing this is prefaced around is the episode. Like, oh, we all know that episode. Man, it was terrible. Like yeah!
Like it's a famous episode that everyone talks about.
Oh yeah, you know, like me and Jacob, our entire friendship was built over talking about Girls Jungle Trap in college. You remember that? All those long conversations.
It's what we bonded over.
Just awful, isn't it?
Yeah. It's what actually inspired us to start this channel.
Never saw the light of day, but we actually did a rant episode on Girls Jungle Trap. It was about 3 hours long. So.
But it was too spicy to put on the internet, even back then.
Well, back then you couldn't upload videos over 15 minutes. So
yeah,
it was no good. It's like a Mauler video.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping the volume to be low because I didn't want to wake up my brother. Anyways, when I played the tape, it showed a countdown and then the episode started.
It showed countdown.
And then the episode started. Instead of showing the stuff that happens before the intro, it skipped all the way to the intro. I hummed along with the song, nothing odd, until I saw that Chris was missing. I think it's because of the fact he left to his home back in episode 78. Okay.
He went back, he goes, I must go home now.
I continued anyway. The title of the episode was Revenge of the Jungle Trap. When I saw... Guys... When I saw the title, I was alarmed because the sentence Jungle Trap meant, M-E-N-T apparently, that it's most likely gonna be the same shit that happened in Girls Jungle Trap. And not to mention that it also said a special Sonami episode on the top, and from the writer of Girls Jungle Trap.
Right, so okay, so let's stop here.
Juggle Trap.
Oh yeah, it's a Girls Juggalo Trap. Guys, we're stuck in this suburban neighborhood, and there are these juggalos coming after these hedgehogs, right?
They're wanting to know how
But at first, you look at the juggalos and you think, oh hey, those are girl juggalos. But no.
So they had to it's like a survival thing, like Predator. It's basically Predator, but the army are the cast of Sonic the Hedgehog, and the Predator is just a juggalo.
Right. Okay. So let's break down that sentence because right. So it goes. Oh, it's going to be the same shit over again. Like, isn't this your third favorite show? Like, oh man, they keep repeating storylines constantly, and for a very special, was it Son/Amy episode? Was that on the screen, just letting all the kids at home know this is going to be a show where Sonic and Amy, this is the episode where they suck each other's dicks or whatever? And from the writer, this is...
It's weird, right? Like, why would it say any of that?
Well, it's not even weird, it's just poorly written. Like, oh, how do... from the... Right, just to get it across.
I was starting to think, was this episode meant to be released for all the Son Amy fans, including me? The episode began with Sonic and Amy at a fancy restaurant. The name of the restaurant was Le Café Miro 81. Pretty much, that was odd. Seeing as the name of the restaurant in the 2000 horror film Final Destination.
Oh, yay! Of course, people, that's a really, really, really obvious piece of trivia.
Yeah,
there.
like, oh, I don't know, you know, it's one of the most famous things, like, you know, when everyone thinks of Final Destination, the first thing that comes to their mind is the restaurant.
I know we often overuse the autism joke for Sonic stuff, but like, come on, just the... It's pretty much that was odd, seeing as it's the name of a restaurant in the 2000 horror film Final Destination. It's kind of a
Who
fish in the barrel.
remembers anything about Final Destination? Either it was it's shit and it's about people getting murdered in retarded ways.
I like Final Destination.
It's still dumb.
First one's okay.
Amy was wearing her dress.
I fucking hope so. She had a tiny, 14-year-old hedgehog titties out.
Now, this isn't Sonic 2, it's Sonic X.
Yeah.
That was seen in episode 65.
Well, it's got
Sonic
Chris
X.
Chan in it.
Yeah.
Chris Chan had to go back to Quicksville.
Hey, 14 is legal in Japan, okay, Matt?
not entirely sure if it is.
Sonic was wearing a fancy tuxedo. Amy and Sonic were about to kiss. I thought to myself, yay, I have so little in my life. Except there was something strange and wrong.
You're thinking, yay.
The music was playing in reverse, and the animation was in a grayscale. Just one.
Was it one of the grayscales from Game of Thrones?
Strange, I know. Grayscale is the name of the disease, not the people that have it.
I know.
So, I know I've read the books, so I know what grayscale actually is. But now I've just this idea, instead of doing what it normally does, it just turns you Scottish. It just leeches all colour from you. You become a bit of a drunk. You pick up a heroin problem. Eat a bunch of like Mars bars wrapped in like deep fried Mars bars.
My country is amazing.
I mean, it is now, because now your country is England.
That's true. The country I was born in was...
Strange, I know. Just when Amy was about to kiss Sonic,
Her boner flipped over the table.
an asshole kidnapped Amy, and then I said very loudly, "What the fuck? No, not again!"
Alright, Mike.
I don't know how this person's supposed to be, but like they're so just like, oh man, they're about to kiss. Oh no, not this fucker. Oh no, like, how old were you? Just like to be so disappointed that this pink cartoon hedgehog and this blue cartoon hedgehog didn't kiss.
It's like, what the fuck?
It's so
no?
devastated. I'm gonna go back to college and complain to my counselor about it.
Just like, well, what the fuck? Not again. I took my dick out for this and everything.
Then Sonic was sent into action, but then the screen cut to black.
Okay, also, what, like, it's not very descriptive of what happened. Like, okay, so Amy got kidnapped
By some asshole.
by
as
some
well.
asshole. Vague in the, like Eggman teleported away? No, kidnapped by some asshole. Did someone just walk up behind her and throw her in a sack?
I would really prefer if you didn't say Eggman in my fucking house.
Or the E word.
Yes. if you didn't use the E word in my presence. I was like, huh? He was one of the characters in the Meat and Fuck series. The screen then snapped back with Tails bending down to Cosmo's grave and saying, I don't know what kind of voice does Tails have.
I miss you, Cosmo.
Basically, yeah, Tails always sounds like a girl.
In a sad, loving tone. Then he was interrupted by Amy's yell for help. Sonic said, it's just fucking, it's going to be the Sonic EXE voice, isn't it?
Of course it fucking is.
Don't worry! I'm coming for you! But the animation was blurry this time. As if I were a drunk Scotsman. And all I saw was a blue blob.
No, that's not his nickname.
Yeah. That's like
Sonic, the blue blob!
it's basically like I wrote this, like the most casual Sonic like fan. Just like, yeah, what is it, the blue blob? Yeah. He's gonna fight Dr. Robots. What's his name? The guy who puts the baby little animals in the robots, Dr. Wily. Right, that's. And all I saw was a blue blob jumping over a yellow one and was headed towards the pink one. I pretty much wanted to turn off the TV, but I really didn't want to.
Makes sense.
Hang on. I pretty much...
Oh, wait, Jacob, I found a picture of what Cosmo looks like.
Oh, fuck off.
That looks like
That's a Pokemon, right?
It does look like a fucking Pokemon.
That looks like Curlia. The Pokemon.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like the waifu Pokemon.
Yeah.
I wanted to see the rest of the episode. 2 minutes later, there was a scene of Cream all alone in a subway. And I like that Cream is in lowercase, so it's not the character.
Just looks like
It's just like a little pot of there's like cheap double cream pots you get.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
When she boarded the train announcer said, "Next stop, Grieving Park." Oh, sorry, it's a train announcer. For some reason, Grieving Park happens to be a sad park. I mean, the clue's in the name, mate. Was Cream upset over something? I was hoping she wouldn't cry, but she did.
When you're not really fine.
Her crying was really annoying. Her crying was really annoying as my brother's crying. Both are way too loud, but Cream's was louder as hell.
Jacob, do you even know who Cream is? Or what
Yeah,
Cream?
she's like a bat, right, with titties.
No, that's Cream.
A rabbit.
Oh, wait, there's a picture.
This is Korean crying.
Yeah,
Okay.
Queen crying.
I know that's a chow.
Yeah.
See, I do fucking know stuff about Sonic.
That's nothing to be proud of.
Like, people always think it's weird that I don't know anything about any of the shit we read. But Cream's was louder as hell. My ears were bleeding unconstantly.
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 It's not a word, but okay. And also, if your ears were bleeding, seek medical attention.
Yes.
You
Especially if they're unconstantly.
you might be having some kind of hemorrhage, like of the brain. Like you could die.
Yes.
Luckily, my brother did not wake up.
Because he's dead.
The scene of her sadness ended, thank God. The scene then showed Shadow with Rouge.
Oh yeah.
That's the
Rouge.
bat with titties.
That's the bit about... Right. Rouge was being a bitch in front of Shadow.
Of course.
Yeah, that sounds right, Rouge the Bat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look, bat titties.
yeah, she's in Sonic
Big
06.
old
Yeah, she's
bat
in
ti-
Sonic 06.
Yeah, it's-
And she's in Sonic Adventure 2 and has like the funniest run cycle.
Look at those big old bat titties.
Thank you, Matt, for sharing that with me.
Mm-hmm.
Shadow said, "Ugh, why is she so aggressive?"
Where's the damn fourth Chaos Emerald?
Then the scene showed Amy in the prison. The prison she was in had blood all over the walls and floor. I was like, holy fucking shit! Then a black screen came up again. I was like, shit! Then a girl scream came out of the loudspeakers. I jumped with fear. That moment almost gave me a heart attack.
That moment almost gave me a heart attack.
Is this the emotion you humans call fear? You scroll down more, it'd be good if we can...
Yes.
There's just one paragraph.
Yeah.
Alright.
Take the thing away from Gemma.
The screen snapped back again. Cream was then wearing a black dress. I freaked out saying, "What the? Is her mother Vanilla dead?" I was scared shitless, but the worst came. Cream hanged herself with a noose around her neck and hands tied behind her back, so her mother Vanilla did die. How did you infer that from her hanging herself? She hanged herself because she was sad. She's wearing black because she was mourning. But how do you go? It was her mother.
Because I don't know, the character doesn't exist outside her mother. I don't fucking remember or know.
I was then yelling. Then the screen went to black yet again. I said to myself, "Please no scream, please!"
It's like, please no scream.
Then the screen snapped back. Sonic was then kidnapped too. Then I said, "Oh shit!" Then he was.
Who's fucking kid? Is it Candlejack stealing them?
Then he was thrown into the exact cell Amy was in. I was then worrying. Then 4 minutes later, it was even worse than before. I feel you, man. Like 4 minutes into the story was even worse than when we first started. So, you know. The prison guard then turned Amy into a vampire.
What?
She had evil red eyes and she had a snake-like tongue. She bit Sonic's neck and started sucking his blood. And then when he turned into a... And then he turned into a vampire too. This is like My Immortal. I then started to get scared even more. I screamed and then started to cry with pain. I said, "No! Please don't! Stop! 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 Please!" It was starting to get worse.
Like the story.
What was weird is... Come on! That every Sonic X episode was always about 20 minutes. Beating Eggman being 40 minutes.
Beating him off.
Oh my god. Literally the only reason they renamed him Eggman was like a bit puns like beating Eggman.
No, they did it because that's what he's called in Japan.
I actually did know that. And that upsets me.
Like,
they localized them and
Yeah,
then
'cause
they went, "Oh, okay, let's not do that anymore."
Well, we called him in the Japanese. They called him Eggman because the Japanese are terrible with names, and because it probably doesn't sound nearly as retarded when a Japanese person says it in English.
Let's find out. Eggman no. No, it still sounds retarded.
No, I'm saying to you, but like it's a foreign language. But
However, this one was about an hour and 40 minutes. Due to the long-ass black screens. Did he establish there were like long black screens? I was continuing to sob. Yet, why? yet wanting to vomit my guts out. Like,
It's not even his favourite story, is it? Imagine if he'd seen like one of the fucking SpongeBob, like where he found a copy of SpongeBob or something like that, he'd be killing himself or exploding or something.
I was sobbing even more. Then it was far off worse than what happened. I don't know. You tell me. You're writing the story. There was wedding music, but it was played in a high, scary pitch. Descriptive. And there was also a creepy siren noise. That noise was similar to the siren noise you hear in Silent Hill or something. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, fuck off.
That's also, you could just say air raid siren.
Yeah.
You know.
But Jacob, Silent Hill, scary. And if I say it's like Silent Hill, then you know it, and then it becomes
Did
scarier.
you say if it's like Skyland Hill?
Scarlet Hill.
It's Silent Hill.
Scarlet Hill. It's
Actually, there's a new thing in Sonic. It's Silent Hill Zone. Act 1.
put that on the screen.
It's like, the little egg pod comes down and it's got Pyramid Head in it instead. Jumps up, he just swipes him in half.
I'm just trying to imagine like the 16-bit music to that level. It's just like banging on like kitchen implements. Just like,
Sonic has to come with the fact that he murdered Eggman, like in the first game. I got a letter from Eggman.
It's like, are you Amy? I'm not your Tails.
There's got to be a mod or a fanfic Silent Hill Zone.
it's too perfect. Like the pun is too. But there's no way. There is no way we're clever enough to be the first people to come up with Silent Hill Zone. Like it's too good. That's not the real Chris Chan. That's Christy. The scene was then showing Sonic and Amy making Tails bleed to death unconstantly. What? Why do you think unconstantly is a word? That's part one. And two, what do you think it means? Please let us know.
And what are they doing to make him bleed constantly?
Please, author, let us know in the comments why you think that's a word and what definition you think it has. Tails was screaming for help. I was unconstantly, for fuck's sake. It's not a word. Crying and yelling, and then the same exact thing happened to Tails. Also happened to Rouge Knuckles SBO.
I thought that was a Pokemon.
No, SBO is the SBO.
We gotta Google it again.
Well, Espeon is like an EV.
Yeah, I know.
evolution.
Yeah, but this is a Pokemon, is it?
No, but it sounds like it.
I was thinking it's like a really
It's like a chameleon.
it's like a total fucking clown on YouTube, but then I realised that's Mr. Repsion.
Okay, well, where is it? How do you spell it?
Espio. Rouge Knuckles SBO. Charmy, I know who that is. That's the B. Shadow and Vector. And Vector, I think, is the crocodile.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was freaking
he's always trying to get
out.
to the control station or something.
I did.
The commander
I
of
did
the-
his fucking personality. I just knew. I was freaking out so loud. Then Amy and Sonic were laughing evilly.
Wait, hold on. But what were they doing? Like they were making them bleed constantly.
And
In what way were they like?
Yeah, there was like nothing.
Were
Was
they
given.
cutting them? No. They're giving them like They were like forcing them to donate lethal amounts of blood. So, take this. Oh no, you're draining my blood slowly.
I was screaming and crying and saying, "Amy, Sonic, no! Ah!"
Brrr. Brrr. He's not killed now.
Hank Hill's
I was thinking like. I was thinking the shop class teacher like, I never got to say goodbye.
Can we go back and edit so he's any pictures of it is just a guy.
Yeah, he picked
Well, get like get his Photoshop his head onto a child's body.
Yeah, the protagonist of this story is just Mr. Adler from shop class. Then end credits came, with the scary wedding music still playing. Why was there already? The credits even had the names of people I don't even know. Yeah, generally credits do have the names of people you don't know.
Yeah.
The copyright notice at the end said copyright 4Kids 2002. It was pretty odd seeing as Sonic X was created in 2003. After the episode was over, scary wedding music was still playing. And then it showed the writer of Girls' Jungle Trap on the subway tracks.
Jared was driving.
I was thinking just like eating the little pot of cream.
Feasting on the brains of cream.
She was sobbing uncontrollably, as I was for some reason. But then an on-speeding train was heading towards her, and that was it. She was hit by the train. She was dead.
Oh my god.
Oh, you mean she didn't survive it?
Then the scary wedding music ended. This is a treasure trove. But then there was a Russian text.
There was a Russian what?
There was a Russian text.
Russian sleep
I
experiment.
really wanted it to say there was a Russian voice.
We've only got one person who could handle that.
Me.
This is good. There's no way this has been written with sincerity. Listen, I was afraid of Russian text. Because it reminds me of the sounds of hell.
Racist.
Then there was a scary voice reading the text.
Was that Russian voice?
I don't like. Stop it! I don't like it when you do a Russian voice. It scares me.
It reminds me of the sounds of hell.
Then I got scared even more. I called the cops. Imagine how annoyed they're gonna be.
Like 911, what's your emergency?
One count of wasting police time.
It's urgent. What was it? Please come. I've been watching Sonic X. A tape I found. Cream just got hit by a train. Like,
Calm down.
Sir, I would like to. What the fuck are you on? The cartoon rabbit. She was hit by a train.
Okay, we've got a major drug bust. Okay. They arrived just in time to see what was happening. As soon as they arrived, it then showed a kid in a... I wish there was a transcript of the 911 call. As soon as they arrived, it then showed a kid...
People who do fan passes, get on that.
In a school hallway drinking from a water fountain. Then the tape ended abruptly. And when I was about to take the tape out of the VCR, it fell on the floor, with the picture tapes scrambled in it. Excuse me? I explained the cops everything about the tape. My brother Anthony woke up. He wanted to know what the hell was happening. I like to think like the little infant was like, what the hell is going on?
See his older, I'm guessing brother. I think he says girlfriend.
The cops told him what happened. Like, how old is Anthony supposed to be? I swear it was like Anthony cries really loud all the time. I thought he was like...
Well, considering his brother...
he was like 11 months old.
No, well, it turns out like he's actually 17 and his little brother's like 15. And considering like how much he cried over this cartoon. Like he was sobbing.
It's like a family of dribbling idiots.
Yeah.
Then the cops took me and Anthony to an open late cafe. One of the cops told me that I may have had a bad dream.
Wait. Is it going to be the cafe that's at the beginning of the story?
God, I hope so.
I'm gonna.
He's gonna ask for the butter.
I told him it wasn't. I then opened the tape and showed him what was on the picture tapes. What does he mean by picture tapes? He was then shocked at what I showed him, and then he tried smashing the tape into little pieces. Why would a police officer do that?
Why would the police take them through? Police. Well, this is apparently not that. Apparently, Derek Green. Yeah. Let's be honest. Derek Green has turned up at this kid's house because he was the only one on duty when he got told up and told it was a haunted Sonic tape. So he turned up, then took the kids to a cafe, which is very unprofessional, but it's Derek Green levels of, you know.
This may have something to do with the Sonic EXE murders. But the tape was indestructible. Why did a cop want to destroy evidence? The next day, Saturday, I found I really wanted it to be over. Do you know what I mean? When the tape ended.
Yeah.
That would have actually, like, you know, made it better. So therefore, it couldn't exist. It has to keep going with this dribbling.
The next day, Saturday, I found a random sticky note on the tape. It said, "Girls' Jungle Trap was supposed to exist."
Was not supposed to exist.
Girls' Jungle Trap was. It said, "Girls' Trungle." Jesus.
It's Trungle Brap.
I found a random sticky note on the tape. It said, "Girls' Jungle Trap was not supposed to exist. It was created to replace 2@12v.tag." Apparently that can be clicked.
Don't click it.
I don't want to click it because it'll probably fuck everything up.
Yeah.
So clicking that thing, it's an email address because of the @ basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it should open with Gmail or Outlook, and I'm like, okay. I was finally able to translate what the person and the text said. I translated it to English, and it happened to be saying, "Abandon hope and thy God. In 10 years, Sonic and Amy will get you." I was scared and doomed. I tried doing a little...
I was scared and doomed.
I tried doing a little research on the episode on IMDb, but nothing came up. I already know that 4Kids has their own YouTube channel, so I emailed them about the episode and got a reply saying...
Do you want me to do that bit?
Do it in a Russian accent.
If it's from 4Kids, I think you should try to sound like a tard.
Alright. Thank you for contacting us about the episode.
That sounds way too smart for someone from 4Kids.
Thank you for contacting us about the episode.
There we go. That person works for 4Kids.
One thing, how on earth did you find out about that? We never ever thought we would go through this again. Basically,
I love there's a spelling mistake in an email from 4Kids. That's so perfect.
the person who came up with the idea of Girls' Jungle Trap actually did die. We fired her for having this as a sequel to the episode you hated. We are sorry, Vincent. Yeah, that is my name. That you were seriously upset about the episode. Apology to burst your bubble about the copyright notice saying year 2002, but Sonic X goes way back as the world would know it.
Goes back to the time of ancient Babylon.
I was gonna fucking say that.
And we never did put in any vampire stuff, or the evil wedding music, or the creepy sirens, or any scary stuff like that. Neither did we put that Russian text on.
Sextoy.
We're not that sick. Now this is our theory. The writer didn't actually...
Still going on. This is supposed to be an email from a fucking business.
The writer actually edited and put it all of that stuff in. Then she hidden it at the dumpster you found in the write-in. Bleh. I just answered the name of the hometown, I know. When you were walking home from school. Oh, and about the footage on the subway death on the kid in the hallway. We do not know. We did not. Sorry, Vincent, from the bottom of our hearts
Sorry,
for your
bitch.
concern. We didn't even know why those last two clips were in. 4Kids, aka the company involved with Revenge of the Jungle Trap.
AKA the company, like, this does sound like it was written by someone.
Right.
You know,
Okay. So there's a lot there to unpack.
it's hardest.
So okay.
We're almost at the end.
Okay.
And then we'll unpack the email. There is no, as it just says episode origin, there is no origin of the episode. Clearly, it is to be known the first person to watch this committed suicide. He said, death and suffering should not be known because of this 13 times, spooky, before taking out a revolver and shooting himself.
He just had one on him, like you know, at the as you work in 4Kids, you get here's your copy of One Piece, here's your editing tool, and here's your gun.
Just fucking Leonard Maltin. Like, why does this keep happening?
Isn't death and suffering should not be known also in the fucking Suicide Mouse?
It's almost. It's very similar. And this guy, they're shooting himself in the head as well.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, if you find the exact same tape as I did, I want you to stay the fuck away from it. If you have seen any abandoned tapes too, contact 4Kids by YouTube only. Because when a Sonic X viewer death is compared to this, it has to be something terrible. Yeah, the ending here is just this is just the ending from Suicide. Inexplicably, is the ending from Suicide Mouse.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So I want to go before we do just talk about that. Like, you know, the email from 4Kids.
Jesus.
Like the woman who okay, 4Kids doesn't make Sonic X. They dub it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Vincent, don't quit your day job.
Faceplant or Die says, read half of it and I'm never going to read the rest. Well, it's okay. I mean, you know, we've read the rest, man. So
A fandom user goes, thank you, Vincent. Whenever I feel my college essays aren't written that well, I always return to these stories and return to my essay feeling confident.
I'm so happy that these people are just shitting on this dude.
so bad that it's good.
No.
Yeah, so the comments don't like it, and good. Why should they? Yeah.
Alright, so okay, my theory is this person watched that episode, didn't like it, and has literally written this story because his butt is all sore and hurt because he didn't like that one episode. And also, he's a fan of Creepypasta, and he just read Suicide Mouse the day before.
Yeah, it is weird that it just suddenly copies Suicide Mouse at the end like that, because the rest of the way through, I mean, there's not much originality in it, but it wasn't a carbon copy of any other story in particular.
Not really.
And it suddenly becomes one at the end, which is really strange.
It's also got gaping hole. I mean, I don't want there to be more details in it. It's just and then they were making them bleed, and bleed uncontrollably. It's not even bleed to death.
Unconstantly.
Yeah,
Constantly. I don't know what that word
Oh,
is.
and
trying to do.
Amy and Sonic become vampire lovers out of nowhere.
It's bad. It's really bad. It's not. There are ones we've read that are far more like
offensive to like your sensibilities,
or boring. But this one is just kind of. It's at least so bad it's funny, which is a rare treat these days with creepypasta. I actually had fun reading that. Not because it was any good.
Because all the shit we were like, we spent if we were Creepypasta and we were like, Angelica was a crack baby, I'm trying to read it like sensibly, it would have been over in about like was it 6 minutes?
Yeah.
13 times before taking out a revolver and shooting himself.
I would describe this as amateur hour horseshit.
Yeah, completely. It's clearly written by a very young person as well, so it's really bad. There's not really any positive I can take from it. I don't think I can give any constructive criticism, to be honest. It's rubbish. There's nothing. It's basically irredeemable.
Yeah, it cannot be.
Yeah, there's just burn it down and do something else.
Yeah, the only positive I can say about it is that not all the words were spelled wrong.
Yes, and the thing is, it's clearly, as you were saying, it's clearly written by someone who is very, very young. So if you're listening to this and you are still writing, keep trying. There's no way you're going to get any worse. From
I like to imagine that he's actually 28.
Do you have any final thoughts on this story?
No. No.
Thanks very much for watching. And an extra special thanks to our patrons whose names are on the screen right now. If it wasn't for these guys, our show would not be on the air. So it's entirely their fault and not ours. If you've enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, feel free to subscribe. Here on the screen there are some other videos you can click. I imagine you already know this because you've probably seen a YouTube video before, but if you haven't, that's how it works. There's also a comment section. Please remember that all the mean things we say on this show are intended as jokes, so don't go and harass anyone. Thanks very much for tuning in, and we hope to see you next time.